Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1aauto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
What we have here is a 2013 GMC Terrain. Under the hood, GM wants it to look pretty for you, so they put covers on everything, and that way it's a little bit difficult to find all of the important things that you need to know. So today we're going to go over some of those things. To start off with, there's an engine cover over your engine, so we want to get under that. There's one T27 Torx bolt on the top that holds that in. And as soon as you remove that, which is pretty easy, you can take off the oil cap like that. And then if you just pull up on it, you can pull it right out of the truck. You can see there's some rubber kind of push pins on the cap that holds down, and we'll get that out of the way. Once you have that off, it's always good to put the cap back on the oil because you don't want to drop anything down there accidentally. So this is your engine. It's a V6, and this is where you put your oil when you're doing an oil change or if you're topping off the oil. Right down here is your dipstick with the yellow handle. So that checks your oil level. Up here is your power steering pump reservoir. So if your power steering is leaking or if you wanted to just check the fluid level or the condition of it, right here is where you do that. Over here is your brake fluid. Sometimes when you do a brake job, you may want to bleed the whole system and you'll want to put new brake fluid in. That's where you do it. And then there's a variety of sensors on the engine that are probably worth noting. Right here is your map sensor. So that's a fairly commonly replaced item on a lot of different vehicles. They sometimes go bad. It'll set a check engine light. Over here, you have your throttle body. This is a drive-by-wire setup. So rather than having an actual cable going from your gas pedal all the way up to the throttle body, you have wires. And inside the throttle body is a little motor that opens and closes the throttle when you push the gas pedal down. Up here, you got your mass airflow sensor. It hooks into your intake and it measures the air coming into your engine so the engine knows how much air is going into it. Down here, you get your ignition coils. There's 1, 2, 3 on this side, and then on the back side of the engine, which you can't really see very well, there's 3 more because there's 6 cylinders, so you have 6 ignition coils on this engine. Over here, you got your computer. This is the thing that actually makes your engine run. It sits right on top of your battery. So if you look down here, you can see one of the battery terminals. So if you need to replace your battery, this is where it is. You pop the computer out of the way, and you can lift the battery right out and replace it. Speaking of the battery, we have battery terminals right here and here. So this is where you would jump start the car if your battery was dead. You have your positive terminal right here in red, and your negative is right down here in black. So you'd put your battery cables right on there to jump start it. Right here is your washer fluid reservoir. So you don't want to get it mixed up with anything else. If you put washer fluid in your engine, you'd have a bad day. So right here is where you fill your washer bottle up. They usually hold between a half gallon and a full gallon of washer fluid. Right here is your coolant overflow reservoir. You never want to open this when the engine's hot because it will actually explode out on you. So you only want to open it when it's cold. You can see this one has Dexcool in it, which is the red antifreeze. So you always want to put the red antifreeze back in. You never want to mix antifreezes because they don't mix well. Sometimes it'll create like goo inside your engine, which is never a good thing. Right here is your fuse box. So you can pop this open. If you ever have any blown fuses, so if like your blower motor wasn't working or your fuel pump wasn't turning on or something like that, this is where you find all of the fuses. And you also find a lot of relays under here. So these big ones, these are relays. So this basically takes a small amount of electricity and allows it's basically a switch. There's low electricity on one side and big electricity on the other, and the lower voltage allows the big voltage to basically open and close. It's science. So Basically, these are relays, these are your fuses. This is where you'll find all the fuses that make your car go. And under the fuse box, here's the list of what the fuses are and where they're located in the fuse box. And that way, if you drop a dime in your cigarette lighter, you can go down here and find your cigarette lighter fuse, pull a fuse out, and you'll find that it's blown. You replace the fuse and you're back in business. Speaking of replacing fuses, this tool right here it comes with just about every car, and it's intended to clip on the fuse and then pull it out. It's a pretty cool little device. If you're ever in a junkyard, it's kind of fun to take some extra ones in your toolbox, and that way you have them for any car that's missing them, because typically these things are missing with every used car that you buy. So anyways, always make sure you put it back, because it's nice for the next guy. Put this back on, it just pushes straight down. Right here, this aluminum line here with a little cap on it, this is one of your AC lines. And if you follow it over, you'll actually see the other AC line right here. It's a bigger one, and it also has a cap. So if you ever have your AC serviced, that is where they hook up the machine to it to feed their refrigerant back in. You always want to be careful of those because they are aluminum and they bend really easily, and they do have a high pressure refrigerant in them that is not good to let out in the atmosphere, and it's also not good to get on your skin. So you always want to be careful of those lines. Never ever put a jumper cable on this as a ground, because you could cause damage to it, and you could actually cause damage to a variety of things. So make sure if you're using your jumper cable, you always use the battery terminals to jump it with. Don't ever touch anything onto this. You can actually follow the lines over here, and you'll see the aluminum AC lines actually go all the way down to the front side of your engine where the AC compressor is. The AC compressor is just moving the refrigerant through your AC system, and that's what allows your AC to get cool. Over here, we have your air intake box. As I said, the mass airflow sensor is right here, and under this box, there's your air filter. There's T25 Torx bolts holding it down. I believe there's 4 of them. There's one here, here, one back here, and then one up here. So to replace your air filter, you would take those bolts out and flop this over, and you could get your air filter. That is a pretty good summary of what's under your hood of your 2013 GMC Terrain, and hopefully this helped you out.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.